Hey you guys, welcome to Living It Country. Today we are going to be sharing our 2025 empty tiny home tour. So we're going to start with the projects we actually started yesterday outside. So without further ado, let's get started. We had a bunch of leftover pavers from our Bellegarde project in the back. And so we wanted to put these to work since we already had them. And so my husband and his friend came up with a new design so that we were able to use everything resourcefully. And we came up with this design right here. So we're gonna do a little walkway with these beautiful gray stone color. And we're actually gonna be going around the whole entire tiny home. And then using our dark charcoal gray, we're gonna do a little fun border around this little patio area. So it's gonna look really cute. So let's go to the front porch. One of my favorite projects that we DIY'd on this tiny home is our thin brick by Old Mill Brick. And this is real brick. It's just thinned down. It's really, really easy to install. We've done it actually quite a few times on our house, on the outside of our house, as well as our fireplace. And we did not whitewash it at all, but it kind of gives the whitewash effect. They have so many different styles to choose from. And we really, really love this product and the way it kind of differentiates the house and gives it a little bit of added character. I found these two wicker chairs on Walmart.com and I fell in love with this style. So I have two of these and the plan is on the other side to have a really small porch swing. I haven't found one small enough to fit. And then I just have these gingham little pillows. I thought that this added a little bit of kind of a cottage country charm, and so I love these. And we're gonna have to find a way to hold these down because the wind around here just makes them fly off the front porch. Another little touch that I really love are these lanterns from Bevello, and the gold in them and the copper tone, it's just very beautiful, timeless looking, and I feel like throughout the years it's just gonna give such a unique style to the home. And I would love to have these on the outside of our house too. I know a lot of people love our front door. This is from Crosswood Doors. And then all of our hardware, including the exterior and the interior doorknobs, are from Nostalgic Warehouse. I finally found my cup of coffee. It's probably cold by now, but let's go ahead and go inside. Welcome in to the tiny home. One of our focuses for this tiny home was to add as much detail and character as possible. So when it came to decorating this space, it really felt effortless. And we're not to the decorating stage quite yet, which I'm super, super anxious. We've got a few more projects to do before we get to that point. Like we've got little holes in the wall that we got to fill in, like from our mini split, and just minor little projects like the pavers. But we went with this flooring from Florette. I absolutely love it. Now I want it in our house. It's so light and airy, and I think it goes well with our paint colors, with the stain on our wood beams. And my husband was able to install this, within like a day or two. And I love that the planks are so big, so that made it a little bit easier for him too. We decided with all the paint colors in here to go with the same exact paint colors as in our home. So that way when it came to storing our paint, it just was really, really easy and we didn't have all these different paint colors to choose from. And the tone of the paint in this house comes off a lot darker than in our home. And it's because the way the lighting hits in here is so much brighter than in our house, which is funny because my husband and I want our house to be brighter and my mom kind of likes house to be darker. So one of our recent projects was this beadboard wall, and we decided to take it all around the whole perimeter of the tiny home. And at first we were a little nervous to do this, but I think it came out absolutely beautiful and it was extremely affordable. Now I always recommend when doing a DIY, make sure you guys check that damaged wood section at Home Depot, because you could be pleasantly surprised that you find wood that you might want to use like we did. We got a few pieces in the damaged wood section and was able to use that. Then we got these little pegs and my husband painted them from Amazon and they just screw right into the wall, which I shared in our last video. And then we just added little touches of trim to kind of give that finished look in the tiny home. And sometimes I think it's all about those small details that can just add a little bit of charm and character to a space. We decided to continue it, which I wasn't sure if I wanted to do or not. I wanted to go with a gold element for the outlet covers, and we ultimately ended up matching it with the beadboard, and it kind of blends in a little bit more, which works out great, and that way the hardware can kind of shine. We sourced all of our lighting from different shops, so I will link all of them down below, but I love these gold sconces. In fact, they were the first thing that I picked for the tiny home. I thought that they looked so, so cute, and we went back and forth with our electrician if we wanted to do sconces here or if we wanted to do a chandelier down this little mini area right here. But since we decided to go with a beam down the center, we decided the sconces were gonna be our best bet. Now I wanna bring you guys to the room and shades. These are always a favorite of mine to share because they're so affordable. You can get them right off of Amazon, and they're the 2 Pages Roman shades. I almost have these all throughout my house, and I love the color of this one so much. And we ended up deciding that we loved it so much, we're gonna add it to the 2 doors to kind of create a little bit more privacy, but I'm gonna go with like a gingham or a ticking stripe look. So I have my little samples coming in the mail actually tomorrow. Bringing you over to this side of the house, we got 2 doors, and right over here we have our washer and dryer, and we have it plumbed to be able to do an all-in-one. I have not found what brand or which one I want to go with yet. I'm kind of waiting on that until right before my mom moves into the house, but that's what this is going to be. And then the plan is to do some shelving in here to be able to kind of create a little bit of a pantry space for her, or a utility space, and storage space, of course, too. And that will explain storage in here. This was right over here, our storage space for her, but you'll be able to tell here in a second that there is not much room anymore. Here we go, let me show you. So our water heater, we ended up going with a 50-gallon, and because of the way we had it running with the plumbing, I'll go right over here, we ended up having to go with a larger one. So the one we purchased that was smaller, we had to return, and we had to go with a larger one. And so it kind of created this whole space to be a water heater, which is okay. So we have an outlet right in here for her to put her vacuum, and we'll mount that to the wall. And then I think we're gonna do a few shelves up here. That way she can have some more storage space. Here we have our adorable ceiling lights. These were so hard to find something with this height. And so we'll probably end up using these ones for our home eventually once we get to that stage of DIY projects. Of course, we have our beautiful shiplap. This is one of our favorite brands, UFP Edge, and it just was effortless. Sometimes companies will send you warped materials, and this one was not. So it was a very, very great project. We have our DIY beams that Jason did, and they turned out absolutely incredible. A lot of planning went into that with the spacing and just how we wanted it to look. And he even restained all of the beams, which I thought was awesome because it didn't end up the color that we were hoping for. And so I think they turned out absolutely incredible. And then we took it a notch up and we did this little dormer area with the shiplap as well as the beams too. I think it just is perfect looking. It's absolutely adorable. And I'm glad that we ended up doing that. We just installed our heating and cooling system. We went with the Pioneer mini split and we used a dual system. So we have one in the living room and then one in the bedroom, which I'll show you guys in a minute. And now I feel like we're super, super close to my mom being able to move in. The target is this fall. That way I can get kind of things going in here of the decorating and styling for her. And so this fall is the move-in kind of target. But I wanted to take you guys over to this little section. I have all of my Antique Candle Co. candles for the fall season, and I wanted to thank them kindly for sponsoring this portion of today's video. If you guys have never heard of their fall candle tester boxes, They include 4 of these scents that they've never released before. And it's really cool. You get to test them out in different rooms. It's a fun activity. And then you get to vote on what's your favorite to least favorite. And you send it in, and then you can be somebody that helps pick their next fall candle. So right here we have a few. We have their maple pecan waffle. We have their toasted marshmallow back here. We have their cinnamon crisp. And then I have right here lit their vanilla shortbread. So, so good. My husband walked in and was like, it smells so yummy in here. So we have these 4. You can get them down in the description box down below for $95. If you're a homeschool mama like me, this is a really fun little activity that you could do with your kids, or even if you have your kids home for the summer season, this would be a lot of fun to do with them as well. So here you can rate each of the candles, and then right here you can scan and send in your testing results of what's your favorite. Super fun, and thank you again to Auntie Candle Co. for sponsoring this portion of today's video. I'm gonna take you guys into the master bedroom. Now here are our cute little nostalgic warehouse doorknobs. I got a locking one for this door, so all you do right here is lock it and unlock it, and I think that gold element's just darling. We ended up having to switch the way that this door kind of opened up so that it didn't hit our bed. But here we go inside. I love this space so much, and I can't wait to talk to you guys all about it. So we have our adorable accent wall by Weber Lumber, and I love this. This was such a fun DIY project to do, and I wish we could have done it to the back wall in the other room. I think it's so, so cute. I've seen other people do this wood with like bunk beds, and it's all over Pinterest. It's so, so cute. And I actually custom designed this wall with my husband to make it so there were these windows here, so they do not open up, but it adds this extra light in, and that way there could fit a nightstand on each side, and then it could custom fit a queen size bed frame. And so I thought that was a cute little added charm. And then of course we have a window that can open up, because of course we got to follow the codes of our area. And so we have a window right here. So all of our windows are from Milgard, and it's what we've used in our home. When my dad used to build homes, that's what he used. And so we just have gone with what's worked well for us. We decided to continue the same ceiling style with the beams as well as shiplap. And then of course I got this huge, beautiful light fixture right above the bed. And I just love, love, love the way that this looks. We decided to continue the high ceilings in here. And I think that it gives just a feeling of less claustrophobicness. I know that when we lived in our tiny home, the tall ceilings really helped us, and it actually helped us live in there longer because it didn't feel as small. So I'm gonna take you guys over here. This was where we had originally, if you saw our beginning stages to the tiny home, we had a wall right here come out as well as here, because the original plan was to do a door here as well and do a little closet space. But we decided to take that out, and we decided we're doing built-ins. So those we are in the process of ordering and working with the design team to come up with a really great solution. So we're gonna do a beautiful like library ladder, and we're gonna go all the way to the mini split up here. And if you guys have any ideas for colors, I know we don't wanna do a gray or blue. If you guys have any color ideas, let us know in the comments down below. I kind of want to do something a little bit bold, but keep it that country cottage charm. So we're going to do that. And then of course we have the other part to our mini split above there. And I'm so excited to take you guys into the bathroom. This is a darling space, and come on inside. So we have our bathroom vanity. I'm hoping by the time that this goes live that it is now back in stock, but it is a farmhouse sink style vanity from Wayfair. Lots of storage, came with the knobs, and then I just matched it with this beautiful, this is by the brand Gerber. It's like a farmhouse styled sink. And then I have that mason jar style lighting, which I love. And we have this in our kids' bathroom, something at least a little bit similar. And then we're going to start shopping here soon for the decor, which is where we'll get our mirror. The tile down below had mixed reviews. I am absolutely thrilled with it. I think it has a sage green look. A lot of people came back saying that it looked too blue, but this is from Wayfair. I love it. I love all the accents of green in it, and I think that it gives that country charm I was going for. And we had a few pieces left to continue this Weber lumber, little tiny half wall right here, which I was so excited for. We were going back and forth if we wanted to do shiplap in this area or not. And we decided to do the beadboard. And then on this little wall, do this. I think all of the colors complement each other in this space. And I'm excited to take you to the shower. This is not 100% complete. Let me just go right inside. We are gonna get a glass wall right here framed out. And I'm not sure if this is going to end up a door right here or not. Yeah. Hubby says yeah. And all of this tile we got from Alexander James' shop. So the flooring tile as well as this Zeliage tile. And I love it. It's got such a unique vibe going on. It's just absolutely stunning. So excited. Our tile guy that installed everything recommended that we put the knob for turning on the shower over here so that when my mom turns it on, she doesn't get wet prior to going in the shower. I loved that recommendation. And so I think it's gonna work out super, super well. We did decide to just do a shower only in here just because this is a space that we plan on my mom growing old in. And we also live in a retirement community. So for resale reasons, if we were to ever sell in the future, we want this to be something that maybe an elderly couple or an elderly person could move into. Because around here, a lot of tiny homes are being added to properties for that reason. We also live in a very expensive area. So getting smart with like multi-family properties is something a lot of people are considering now. I hope you guys enjoyed today's empty home tour before I start the decorating the tiny home. I'm so excited. And again, thank you to Antique Candle Co. for partnering with us on today's video. If you guys are looking for a recommendation, this one right here is a good one. It is called the Vanilla Shortbread. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I will see you guys in our next video. Bye, friends.